Who will the Witchers?
Guilt must be proven.
Go get the lads! We won't stand for this!
Humans only care how their asses rise, infestations do.
I'll cut the block off the next man who dares try his luck.
If they start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of Kaedwen alone.
Say, Witcher, come over here.
Give us his hornflower! Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those Witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets, throwing their weight about too much they are.
Farewell.
Give us his hornflower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog! You will change your tone when we put a
Say, Witcher, come over here.
Bad. The peasants are furious. They finally have a chance to strike back for all the wrongs.
The noblemen won't yield.
They're a cowardly lot.
They know their heads will follow Stennis's.
It's a deadlock, with the prince's guilt still to be proven.
Yarpen says it's someone from Edirn. Sheldon, on the other hand, would shave his beard if it's not Hensel's spies.
Anyone reached the prince in his chamber?
Not even close. The nobles guard him like a matron does her ward's hiney.
If the rabble slaughters the prince, there'll be no stopping them. They'll start doing things their own nasty way.
That's why the nobles will support the prince even if they believe he's guilty.
I'm sure Stennis' hands are dirtier than a peasant girl's fucked in a barn.
Why would Sheldon suspect Henselt?
He'd sooner reach an agreement with Stennis than Saskia. Her death would be very convenient.
Zoltan?
I'm wondering how anyone could manage to poison the wine. Saskia's a quick-witted lass. She doesn't let just anyone near. Someone she knew must have done it.
Has Yarpen got any evidence?
No, Yarpen's an old cook and says he's got a feeling. Ploughing soothsayer.
He might be right with those feelings. After all, not just anyone can pass through the Wraith's mist. It has to be someone local.
So it never crossed your mind that Henselt might have sent someone here before those ghosts appeared?
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
Saskia's on the pier with
Say,
Henselt and
Witcher, come over here.
Wraiths fill the mist and commoners and nobles are at each other's
Say,
throats.
Witcher, come over here.
This is nonsense.
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Where did Reverend Olkin live?
Let me mark...
Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you. That's what makes us different.
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just keep in mind there's a world order that mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
Give us his hornflower!
Life.
Rolling dung, you
As I
surly
see
dog!
every princeling likes to
Change your tone
Guilt
when we
must
put
be
a
proven.
sickle to your
Otherwise,
throat.
it's...
I'd gladly hear your opinion on the situation.
Finally, someone reasonable. It's obvious Henselt bribed some serf who then did what he was told.
That's interesting.
Just think it through. The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight. Only the servants touched the decanters, and who are they? Commoners. Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the nobles and the prince.
Something to think about.
Save your threats for...
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalenburden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why. The mongrel covets the crown.
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her, he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes! His serene dumbhead, the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Bergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they want it, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis' leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olkan got what he deserved when Henselt cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
It appears Stennis would benefit the most from Saskia's death.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edirn? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edirn, can judge me. Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
You didn't say a word about your guilt or innocence. You demand justice. You want to summon a coven of the wise. But who will sit on that coven? Any peasants? No, only people you'll nominate yourself. Lords whom you'll reward with lands for reaching the right decision. Such men are to decide if you're guilty? No, you are guilty, Prince. You know you are. The nobles won't forgive them that.
They're a cowardly lot. Yelping's all they're good at.
And backstabbing.
By Stennis's example. His filthy life wasn't taken in vain. Eilhart will get royal blood, and Saskia will be cured.
We need to hurry. We can't keep peace in Vergen with strength alone.
Anything's possible using strength. One just has to know how to use it.
That's your credo?
Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt with this rabble.
What do you intend to do?
I'll get reinforcements. The Scoia'tael are more numerous than you think. Time to summon them. I'll leave shortly.
You won't get through the fog.
I don't intend to. Mountains may stop human armies, but not the Scoia'tael. I'm going south.
Will you be back in time?
I have to. Va fail, Gwynblade. Don't lose hope.
I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the drive, like in the old days.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kaedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
There's no time to lose.
I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
You wanted to Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important. You wanted to discuss...
Know how to remove a tattoo?
There's a cure for everything, except stupidity. I'll need some green mold, white myrtle petals, and wolf's...
I'll be back once I've...
Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important. I can go no further. If Deathmold senses my presence...
How will I get back to Vergen?
I'll wait nearby. Hurry!
I knew it. Damn, I knew it was you. When the mist started whirling, I told the boys it's Geralt of Rivia. Well, my name isn't Vernon Roche. Friend of yours?
Just found him. He was already dead.
Interesting. Dressed like a Vergenni. You almost made it through the fog. What's your business here?
Triss is somewhere nearby.
Still looking for your sorceress. If she came here, I'd know about it.
In that case, you either know nothing or you're lying.
Plow yourself, son of a bitch. I owe you nothing. You made your choice. Fled with the elves while Vess almost died at that Horson Laredo's house.
Is Vess all right?
What do you care? We could have all died while you played at being a squirrel.
I'm not one of your men, Roche. I didn't betray you.
I didn't say that.
But you thought it. You and your men against the whole world. Those not on your side are against you.
Don't you care about Voltest's death anymore?
The assassin kidnapped Triss, remember? Help me find her, and I promise I'll keep the word I gave you in the dungeons of Lavalette Castle.
I don't know why I'm doing this. Right. If Triss is anywhere in the area, it can only be one place. At the rear, near the riverbank, the Nilfgaardians have set up their camp. Nobody can enter it. You can get there either via some caves or by sneaking through the main camp. Don't forget the gates. Believe it or not, the whorehouse is where you need to go to enter the caves. The ladies thought they'd use that passage to service the knights and nobles, but some monsters have their lairs there. If you've had your fill of whores and monsters, to the east there's a path that leads along the riverbank. That'll get you near the canteen. You'll have to sneak the rest of the way from there.
Thanks, Roche.
Hey! I'll hold you to your promise.